Yusuf. The Imam Aziz, she somehow, she brings herself in the most exposing manner, flirtatious way, and she says, come on, haytan. He says, قَالَ مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ No Rabbi ahsana mathwaya. No way, there's no way I'm going to get involved in something haram. And she chases Yusuf alayhi salam, right? She chases. We chase for sins. He was running away from sin. And the doors, وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابِ The doors were locked. Just, you could be the next king of Egypt. If the wife of the king or the minister on your side, what else do you need? You got the money, you got the fame, just do it. It's only one mistake. You know, you can get a good tawbah. And look where he's coming from. And what's next? It doesn't get easy. Okay, fine. I got away from this this whole sin. It's not done yet. She's like, really? She got all the women of Egypt together, of the area of Misr together, and he is accused. He is accused. وَشَهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ كَانَ قَمِيصُهُ قُدَّ and they bring a witness. And of course, Al-Qurtubi writes, Allah Quran writes that Ibn Abbas told a child in his cradle spoke. So we have in history 4 children in their cradle spoke. Mashiqas, the lady that used to comb the hair of the wife of Pharaoh, her children, Isa bin Maryam, Jurayj, the kid who spoke for Jurayj, a long story. And so 4 children spoke in their cradle. وَشَاهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِنْ and a kid spoke to this way. So if his shirt is ripped from, if her shirt is ripped from, if his shirt is ripped from the back, then it's a girl. If it's ripped from the front, it's him. And it came out in his favor. Even then, the women plotted against him. You know what he said? Qurtubi writes a very interesting point. He says, فَصَرَفَ عَنْهُ كَيْدَهُنْ Allah says, we turned him away from the plots of these women. And there was only one lady trying to pursue or persuade Yusuf. Allah says, صَرَفَ عَنْهُ كَيْدَهُ Allah turns him away from all their plots. What Qurtubi writes is really interesting. He says, what happened really is after he denied Zulaykha, all the women said, like, you know what, maybe you don't like her, come, we'll present ourselves. So the women of that country, all of them tempted to make Yusuf come into Zin. And Yusuf said no to every possible option. And then he says, Rabbi, as-sijnu ahabbu ilayya mimma yad'unani. You know what, Allah, if this is the case, if I have to be surrounded with this fitna and these temptations, and this is a prophet of Allah, he's clean, his heart is clean, he can survive in the storm, but even in this attitude, he says, you know what, let's change environment. And if the jail is a better environment for me, I'll go in the jail. He wanted a change of an environment. He said, get me out of here. If I have to go to jail, I'll go to jail. Rabbi said, I would rather sleep in jail. It's not an easy place to stay than do anything that would disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Yusuf gets out of it. And everybody looks at, you know what? The momentary and the temporary benefit and the moment joy. Nobody looks at the long term. Okay, fine. You did harm. The wrath of Allah descended. What did you get out of it? How much do you get out of it? You know? And if you have a iota of iman, there should be some guilt. You know? But the benefit is, if you don't do it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises, Allah will repay you and give you things you can never imagine. مَنْ تَرَكَ شَيْئًا لِلَّهِ عَوَّضَهُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا مِنْهُ. Anyone that leaves anything for Allah's sake, Allah will grant them things better than they can imagine. So if you left a relationship that was haram, Allah will give you a better relationship. And what happened to Yusuf? It's clear. It's nothing hidden. It's clear. It's crystal clear in the Quran. Allah made Yusuf the treasure. And then the leader of Egypt. Allah gave him respect. Brought him out from jail. Gave him so much respect. His brothers were shocked. They were marveled. How did you get all this? How did you get all this? أَأَنْتَ يُوسُف? قَالَ أَنَا يُوسُف وَهَذَا أَخِي. Then he says, قَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. Allah has favored me. Favored him what? From the depth of a well, from the eye of a jail, to the seat of a palace. It was all planned by Allah. But how do you just say, you know what, this is a moment of me enjoying my dream with Zulaykha. She's beautiful, she's a queen, I will do this. No! He stood up, he said what was right. Not only did he say what was right, He moved. You know, sometimes we say, no, it's haram, I'm not going to do it. Then we still do it. No, move away from it. Take the steps. And that's what Yusuf did. He said, Rabbi, as-sijnu ahabbu ilayya mimma yad'un. It just could not accept it. The whole Egypt accused him. Allah knew he was innocent. And then when he came time to get out of jail, he said, I'm not coming out of jail. The king's like, get out. I'm not getting out. فَمَا بَالُ النِّسْوَةِ الَّتِي قَطَّعْنَا أَيْدِيَهُنَّ. Go ask those women who cut their hands. What's the real story? And then Zulaykha says, أَنَا رَاوَدتُّهُ عَنْ نَفْسِي. I am the one that tempted him. الآن قد حصل الحق. أنا راودته. It's me that made the mistake. Yusuf is innocent. Then Yusuf says, you know what? My case is clear. I will come out innocent. And everybody felt bad. Of course, Allah gave him respect later on. But the fact of the matter is, do what's right. Move away from it. If it means to change the school, drop the class, leave their friend, break the phone. I'm not going extreme. This is the most extreme measure you can imagine. Yusuf going to jail. He actually did it. Why would a prophet of Allah go to jail? No crime, no. And then another example that you can look at of how bad accusing someone for an act like this, just accusing, it's one of the greatest in the world. وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ ثُمَّ لَمْ يَأْتُوا بِأَرْبَعَةِ شُهَدَاءَ فَاجْلِدُوهُم 80 جلدة وَلَا تَقْبَلُوا لَهُمْ شَهَادَةً أَبَدًا أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Allah said clearly in Surah Nur, anyone that accuses an innocent human, especially a female, if they don't bring the 4 witnesses, 3 of them come, all 3 of them get 80 lashes. How dare you break the dignity and the respect of a human? That's how sanctified and sacred a human's life and honor is. What do you think about those humans who publicly post their immodesty? Okay, Quran gives so much respect. What are you doing? Then Quran goes very cool. You know what Quran says? Even if they're right, but they don't have 4 people, لا تقبلوا شهادة أبدا. Never ever take them as a witness. For example, if these 2 people receive the moon in the world for Ramadan, they will not get accepted. They will not be accepted for doing shahada of marriage. Imam Malik, the Imam say never. And the next ayah says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ تَابُوا مِنْ بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ وَأَصْلَحُوا. And then the Tawbah. The Imam say they will be forgiven, but the fact that they will never be able to be a witness in Islamic court again, that still remains. There's only one opinion of Abu Hanifa and Malik who says, yeah, there might be a slight variance. No. Because they made this fault and accusation, it could have been right. But because Islam has such a dignity, a person can't just wake up and say, I accuse my wife. You can't do that. There's so much honor to it. Now, how can you accuse someone? So I'm playing this dice from the opposite. الأشياء تعرف بأضدادها. You can recognize things with the opposite. If a human is getting so much dignity, how can you destroy a human's dignity? And people have sanctity and sacred. And if you look at the life of Maryam was like, what? Nothing happened to me. She's pure, she's clean, she's honored, she's from a very sacred house. She's the niece of Zachariah, from a very pious family. She gets pregnant, people find out, she's not married, she goes into stress mode. She starts to hide. What are the people going to say? How am I going to show my face? مت قبل هذا وكنت نسيا منسيا. ما كان أبوك امرأ سوء وما كانت أمك بغيا. How did you do this? How do you have a child? It's against the intellect and the logic of a man without a relationship with a human, 2 husband and wife. You just can't have a child. But the miracle of Allah took place. Even in a miracle, when Allah was going to give him a child like Isa, she felt so guilty because her reputation was going to go down again. There was some form of respect of human dignity in men and women. She didn't do nothing. But the fact that I have to go out and people are going to just judge me for something I didn't do. Now we're like, yeah, do it. Tell everybody about it. If my parents or someone says something, I'll come and shut up. Really? Is that how bad a culture can go? And that's the culture that Prophet ﷺ said to the Sahaba, I wish you'll never see that culture. 5 خصال أعوذ بالله أن تدركوهن. 5 times, 5 type of cultures. I wish you'll never see it. ما ظهرت الفاحشة في قوم حتى أعلنوا بها إلا ابتلوا بالطواعين والأوجاع التي لم تكن في أصلابهم الذين مضوا. When immodesty becomes open and everybody is blunt about the relationship and the haram relationship, they don't care what the world says, the Quran says, just do it because the desires are pulling you towards it. What happens? Sickness, diseases, illness. They spread widely in the world. That's what's happening. That's what's happening today. So what happens with Maryam, alayhi salam? She runs away. She goes into under a tree. Allah is sending wahi to her. Basharan Sawiya. Allah is giving her glad tidings. Basharuka bil ghulam. We're telling you you're going to have a child. He's going to be this, he's going to be this. And she's still worried about it. Allah said, فَقُولِي وَاشْرَبِي وَقَرِّي عَيْنَا فَإِمَّا تَرَيِنَّ مِنَ الْبَشَرِ أَحَدًا فَقُولِي إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنسِيًّا. She did not know how to talk to people. So Allah said, you know what, just tell them you're fasting in their religion. Fasting meant you can't speak to anyone. فَأَتَتْ بِهِ قَوْمَهَا تَحْمِلُ. She comes to the people. قالوا يا مريم لقد جئت شيئا فريا يا أخت هارون ما كان أبوك امرأ سوء وما كانت أمك بغيا. What did you do? Where did you get this child from? Your mom wasn't a bad person. Your father wasn't a dignified person. Meaning there was a culture of dignity in these people. ما كانت أمك بغيا فأشارت إليه. She said, you know what? I'm not going to answer. She points at the child. قالوا كيف نكلم من كان في المهد صبيا. How can someone speak in the cradle? قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا. There are multiple tafsirs of كنت نسيا منسيا. She says مت قبلها. يا ليت مت قبلها. I wish I died before this day, where people have to question. One tafsir is that she was embarrassed of the situation. Another beautiful tafsir was, check this out. She knew now she's going to become famous. And she was afraid of the fame. People thrive for fame. Now she knew that I am the mother of a miracle of Isa alayhi salam. وَكَلِمَةُ أَلْقَاهَا إِلَى مَرْيَمَ وَرُوحٌ مِّنْهُ. That Allah made it. She was afraid of that fame and the publicity she will get. She's like, I don't want this. All I wanted to do is worship Allah in the mihrab of Quds. Allah gives Maryam salam a great job. This is why Prophet ﷺ says, in my ancestry, all the way to Ibrahim, to Adam, there's not one father or one mother that didn't sin. You know, so this is the example of Maryam salam. I'll give you an example of Aisha. So emotional for me. Because how people don't understand how bad it is for a person to get involved and accuse someone. The hadith in Bukhari. Roman was in the house. Roman is the mother of Aisha, the wife of Bakr radiallahu anha. She's sitting in the house, and Aisha radiallahu anha is sitting there. A lady walks in, and she says, فَعْلَ فُلَانَ فَعْلَ فُلَانَ. She starts to curse and say things about some individual. So Roman says, what are you doing? Why are you saying negative things about someone? Then the lady says, have you not heard about تَحَدَّثَ بِهِ النَّاسِ? Do you know what people are talking about? She said, I have no idea. Aisha had no idea what's going on. What really happened when Aisha radiallahu anha was traveling back from expedition with the Prophet ﷺ, and Aisha radiallahu anha had to go out for her necessity. And when she went out to relieve herself, she was wearing a necklace, and she dropped her necklace. When she came back, she realized that she never felt anything around her neck. She went back. In the meantime, her hawdaj, the caravan that would carry her caravan, or the saddle that would put her sitting area on, that was picked up by the men and put onto the camel, and they left. And Aisha radiallahu comes back, and the caravan has gone ahead, and she's like, oh my God, I'm here alone. And she's like, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. She starts to make dua. She says, you know what, I'll just lay down for the moment. Inshallah, the Prophet will realize I'm not with him, and he will send someone to pick me up from here. So she stays back. In the back, there's always with the expedition of the Prophet, there was always someone that would stay back to make sure everybody get left safely and nobody left any belongings. So there was one man by the name of Safwan radiallahu anhu who was coming. So from far away, he saw Aisha radiallahu anha laying under the tree, and he said, Inna lillahi. He started saying, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. فَاسْتَرْجَعَ. And Aisha radiallahu woke up, and he heard a person saying Allah's name. And then he mounted the camel. Aisha radiallahu anha got into the camel. And when Aisha radiallahu anha entered into Medina, Abdullah ibn Ubay, the big Ra'is al-Munafiqeen, la'natullah alayh, he was there, and he got an opportunity to say, here we are, a man and a woman alone. And they've been walking together for almost a day or two. Has to be that they have done haram. And he started to spread rumors in the city against the wife of the Prophet. And the Prophet's wife had no idea what's going on, because she went home, she was with the Prophet. She noticed the attitude of the Prophet changed, Abu Bakr's attitude changed, everybody distant from Aisha radiallahu anha. Aisha radiallahu anha says, I didn't realize that I went to the Prophet and said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to go to the house of my father, Abu Bakr. The Prophet said, go ahead. She said, I was shocked. Every time I would ask permission to leave to my parents' house, the Prophet would always ask, when are you coming back? He never asked me. And I really, really felt it because the Prophet never asked when I'm coming back. So I left. I come home, I'm sad, I don't know what's going on. Everybody's turned their attitude against me, everybody's worried. My mom is not speaking to me. And this incident really opens up Aisha, just to think about this. So the lady says that people are discussing things about Aisha and what she did. Aisha was like, what? Me? She says, Wallahi, I felt on the floor and I fainted. I couldn't believe it. And after she gained consciousness, she was sick for the rest of the month. And then the Prophet ﷺ didn't make any judgment. He used to go to Aisha, oh Aisha, if you did something, I will ask Allah to forgive you. Just be honest. Aisha said, listen, I did nothing, I have nothing to prove to you, Ya Rasulullah. And she said, I kept on making dua, praying to Allah, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed more than a page in Surah Nur. إِذْ تَلَقَّوْنَهُ بِأَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَتَقُولُونَ بِأَفْوَاهِكُمْ مَا لَيْسَ لَكُمْ بِهِ عِلْمٌ وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا وَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَظِيمٌ. You're speaking about something you don't know, and you think it's nothing? You think it's just a little speech, and there's Sahaba that are involved. Hassan bin Thabit got involved. And it's a very touchy topic. The fact of the matter is, she did not respond, Allah responded. And she was shocked. She said, to defend Maryam, Isa spoke. To defend Yusuf, the child spoke. To defend me, Allah spoke from the heavens. Allah brought pages of verses. And Allah said to these people, if you don't repent, you will get the most severe punishment in this world. And those Muslim Sahaba, 3 of them particularly, who were involved in this, Mistah, Hamna, and Hassan bin Thabit, there were 3 Sahaba. A female was involved in this too. So the Munafiqeen get the vulnerable Muslims involved too. It says later on in life of Hassan bin Thabit, he was a toy of Rasulullah. He became blind, and he used to say, this adab is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I accused women of being. How can you accuse someone? Because there was such a sacredness to a human's dignity. What's happening today is when someone does zina so much, it really doesn't mean anything to a person. That's why the Prophet ﷺ didn't say zina is intercourse with someone unlawfully. The Prophet ﷺ said, Al-'aynani tazniyani, the eyes do zina. وَزِنَاهُمَا النَّظْرُ, and that is, the zina of the eyes is to look at haram. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-udhnani tazniyani, the ears do zina. And the zina of the ears is listen to haram, al-istima'. وَالْلِسَانُ يَزْنِي وَزِنَاهُ النُّطْقُ وَالْيَدَانِ تَزْنِيَانِ وَزِنَاهُمَا الْبَطْشُ. The eyes do zina, the ears do zina, the hands do zina, and the zina of the hands is to touch something haram. So it's not just about the private parts, it's about every single organ being used for something haram. This comes under the category of zina. The Prophet ﷺ said, a believer can never do zina. What happens, Imam Bukhari Muslim brought this back about iman. When someone does zina, the iman leaves the heart of the person. Ulama say if this person dies, he does not die in the state of iman. A believer cannot do zina. And there's a whole discussion of this in Sahih Muslim by Imam Nawawi. Can a believer do zina? So the discussion of this is very important, that everybody needs to understand that we need to get ourselves away from anything, any possible way for a person to get caught up in these type of behaviors. Because when it happens in the end, a person, he is the one who loses in this world and the next life. And let me say it very clearly. One of the chapters of Bukhari, they're actually titled this way. And he brings this narration of Ibn Abbas. He says, إن المؤمن يرى ذنوبه كجبل يخاف أن يقع عليه. كأنه في أصل الجبل يخاف أن يقع عليه. A believer, when they make mistakes, this is the difference between someone that cares and someone that actually doesn't care. A believer, when they do sins, it's like a mountain, a burden upon this person's shoulder. Oh my God, I can't believe I did this. You feel guilty about it. You cry. Adam made one mistake. And it comes in a bidayah when he cried for years. And some people say 40 years he cried. Tawbah. He ate one apple. You cried. Allah, please. I'm sorry. Change the behavior, change the lifestyle. Just get away from it. man. A young man at the time of Umar radiallahu anhu. Under the tafsir of this ayah, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ اتَّخَوْا إِذَا مَسَّهُمْ طَائِفٌ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ تَذَكَّرُوا فَإِذَا هُمْ مُبْصِرُونَ. Tafsir Ibn Kathir. A man walks up from the garden of Umar radiallahu anhu. He gets tempted by the opposite gender. Just standing outside her house. This young man walks in, and he's about to have an intimate relationship or some sort of haram, relationship with this person, whether it's just a discussion, and then he remembers this ayah, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا إِذَا مَسَّهُمْ طَائِفٌ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ, and those people who are fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when they're attracted by the army, the devil's army or the nafs, تَذَكَّرُوا فَإِذَا هُمْ مُبْصِرُونَ, they remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they retreat and they don't do haram. He remembered this ayah on the spot and he fainted. Then he got up again. This is an Ibn Kathir under this tafsir of this ayah. I'm quoting this reason. The reason why I'm quoting this, citing this is for you because you can look back at it again. He gets up. He gets up and he recites the ayah again, remembers it, and he falls down dead on the floor. His body is carried to the parents' house, and they have no idea what's going on. The young lady, tells the parents the entire story, and he's buried at night. The next day, Umar radiallahu anhu was informed, and he comes to the grave of this man, and he says, "Abshir ya fatah, O young boy, take the good news. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ." Those who are fearful of Allah, they don't get one paradise, they get two gardens. And in Ibn Kathir, under this tafsir, the story goes ahead. فَسَمِعَ صَوْتٌ مِنْ دَاخِلِ الْقَبْرِ. A voice comes out of the grave. Right? In Ibn Kathir, one of the most authentic tafsirs. That's why I'm calling this. A voice comes out of the grave and he says, "You're telling me that Allah is going to give me 2 jannahs? فَقَدْ أَعْطَانِيَ اللَّهُ الْجَنَّةَ مَرَّتَيْنِ. Allah is giving me 2 paradise already. It's given. It's a gift. It's a promise from Allah. So the case of the matter is that when you step away from these type of things, Allah rewards you in this world. Allah rewards you in akhirah. And that's the key. And where is the problem? It's in the heart. And how does the heart get contaminated? By the eyes. When you're listening to music with such profanity, and you know what I'm talking about. You're exercising and listening to this music. Well, these are the things that get stirred emotions. The only thing that's keeping you back away from them is the opportunity of not doing it, or some fear of some other human, not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, definitely. Because if it was the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you would not listen to the music in the first place. Right? So, the exterior factors other than Allah are preventing us, which is also another problem, because we fear makhluk over Allah. So this is a segment that I want to make clear that fahish, إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشًا وَأَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا. Now, of course, from the causes of this is that, an extended amount of exposure to immodesty. If you are always in the setting of immodesty, you will also get affected. You're looking at things, you're seeing things which will hurt your iman. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens very slowly. Very slowly. And the other opposite is a person who doesn't give 2 dimes about what he's doing or what she's doing. The Prophet Ibn Abbas says, أن الفاجر يرى ذنوبه كذباب وقع على أنفه فطار فيه هكذا. Like a sinner, he looks at a sin or she looks at a sin, not like it's a big deal. It's like a fly that comes and sits on her face or her nose and she goes, not a big deal, just yalla, brush it off. We'll pray salah, we'll study salah, Allah forgive my sins. Matter of fact, zina is one of the greatest sins. What is the greatest sin? Al-ishraku billah. Then what's the greatest sin? Killing your children. Then what's the greatest sin? Zina. Hadith. In particular, zina with a girl from the neighborhood. Or with a friend from the neighborhood. Because that should never have happened. Some respect for someone that's in your neighborhood. Bihilati jari. That's the word. A girl from your neighborhood. And our neighborhood is not just 20 houses. It's much bigger. It's not fair that you can treat someone like this. A young man comes to the Prophet ﷺ. A young man. Ya Rasulullah, give me permission to do zina. The Prophet was composed. Amazing. My parents being sacrificed for the Prophet ﷺ. May Allah give us the true love. The Prophet ﷺ didn't move. He just said, give me permission, I want to do it. The Prophet didn't say, Umar, bring me a lash, kick this man. Umar, tell him to do wudu, pray 4 rakats salat tawbah. But this guy told me his mind is not straight. The Prophet literally gave him counseling. What is the problem? He said, listen, أتحب لأمك? Would you like someone to do zina with your mom? He said, no, I never. أتحب لأختك? Would you allow someone to do zina with your sister? He said, never. أتحب لبنتك? Your daughter? Your khala? Your amma? Your aunt? Would you allow it? And he counts the female members who are close to his family. Aqarib. Would you allow someone to do zina with your sister? Your mother? And this man, every time, no way. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, hold on. Anyone that you do haram with, they're a sister to someone. They're a daughter of someone. They're going to be a wife of someone, if there aren't someone's wife. It's not fair. It's not fair that you do this to someone. And the man, he humbly apologized, and the Prophet ﷺ took his hand and he put it on his chest. Allahumma tahhir qalbah wa hassin farjah. Oh Allah, you purify this man's heart and you protect his private parts. He says, Wallahi, I swear by Allah, after that day, I never had any whispers of doing anything haram. I was like, my heart was clean. If the hand of the Prophet can purify a man so much, you can imagine if someone stayed on the Prophet like Abu Bakr, how purified he would be. You know? So the case is very clear. People go through these things. You know, people go through these problems. And their fahish is two things. It either has to do with actions or it has to do with speech. Speech, bad speech. Aisha radiallahu anha sitting, the Yahud come, hadith sahih, and they say, Assalamu alayka ya Rasul, may God destroy you, death upon you, disease upon you. And the Prophet stays quiet. And Aisha radiallahu anha gets furious. And she starts to curse and swear, La'anatullah alaykum, that God curse you. And she starts to become aggressive. Aisha radiallahu anha says, Ya Aisha, alayki bil-rifq. وَإِيَّاكَ بِالْعُنْفِ وَالْفَحْشِ. Don't get aggressive and don't leave your dignity, don't destroy your dignity for people who are already lost their dignity. Keep yourself composed. And then Aisha was like, listen, you know what it says? جَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ سَيِّئَةٍ بِمِثْلِهَا. Like, someone is wrong, you do wrong equal. So Aisha was right. They're doing wrong, let me get the chance to do it back, right? The Prophet ﷺ did not allow that. فَمَنْ عَفَى, whoever forgives, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them the ajr for that. Prophet ﷺ said, Aisha, did you know what they said? Like, I heard what they said. Aisha said, also, did you know what they said? I heard what they said. But did you hear what I said? I said, wa alayk. The same Christian sending to me, back to you. And Allah will not accept the dua, and Allah will accept my dua. Just keep it simple. Don't get aggressive. Don't lose your dignity for someone who has no self-respect. And the Prophet ﷺ kept on teaching this to the Sahaba. How does life end? So speech, and I said this last week, our WhatsApp groups, our Instagrams, our the pictures that we snap on Snapchat. Yeah, they can only see it for 10 seconds. But Allah can, and Allah will. And Allah will have this documented, fi kitabin mubin. And it will be used against you or me if it's something that's wrong. لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها. We have this kind of, perception. Oh, they're not going to see it again. No. It's written down. The angels saw it. Allah is definitely looking at it. It's not erased. And you know what? Someone can hack into your pictures and still get leaked. So it's not gone. It's not gone. So that's my simple request to all of us. The harms of fahish. There's a few harms. Number one, you lose your dignity. You lose your self-respect. The guilt of it continues forever. There's tawbah, for sure. Tawbah, the door of tawbah is always there. Great sinners have become great saints. That's true. Musa killed someone by accident, became the Kalimullah. You agree, right? By accident. So people can repent, but the harm of sinning is that sometimes you never get the chance to repent. You never get the ability to repent. So number one is that you lose your self-respect. Number two, that the sin becomes insignificant in your eyes. You don't feel that this sin is great. It starts with showing some hair, then taking off their hijab, and showing their shoulders, and who cares what people think. It starts with getting more likes when you expose more, and you think people like you more because they're clicking onto your picture. But little do you know, Allah doesn't like you anymore. For the likes of people, you have sacrificed the love of Allah. Really? And vice versa for the males. So that happens. Number 2. Number 3, the people in the community and the ummah don't have any respect for you. They might like you. They want to be around you because you're bad, you're cool, you have the most fun. But that's not what the reality of the people are. When it comes to marriage, no one will give you their daughter. No one will give you their son. Unless, like the Quran says, الزانية لا ينكح إلا زانية أو مشركة. So scary. Quran says, and the person who's done adultery or fornication, nobody should marry them except for someone that's done it. That's a secret. That's deep. Like if you've done it, chances are you will not marry a virgin. Because the Quran is saying it. Unless you do tawbah. وَالزَّانِي لَا يَنكُحَ إِلَّا زَانِيَةً وَحُرِّمَ ذَلِكَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Is it haram for a zani to marry a believer that's virgin? No. This ayah is mansukh. It's abrogated. It's abrogated by the next ayah. You can marry whoever you want. You can marry a sinner or a pious girl. Pious man, it's abrogated. But the case is, it's so deep that at one point that a person was not allowed to marry anyone that has been into this type of relationship. And you can read the reason why these ayahs were revealed. In Medina, when the Sahaba came, the Sahaba wanted to marry some women who were prostitutes or who were sinners, who were openly showing off exposing their beauty. The Quran was revealed, no, you guys can't marry them. But you know what? Everyone from the culture that we live in, except for those Allah has protected, are showing off, men and women, their sins to the world. Sins to the world. So that ayah is something to think about. So the public loses respect for these people, right? And what happens, another thing that happens is that generations are destroyed. You have accidentally someone is pregnant, then you're forced to a miscarriage. And if not, no, I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill that child. That's happened. And you're forced to have an illegitimate child who has no lineage. And the biggest corruption of the society is not because of the government, it's because there is no structure in the parenting. This is why you see a lot of children who have single parenting, it's very challenging. That's why talaq is the most disliked thing in the world from the things which are allowed. Because when it happens, it doesn't only harm the parents, but mostly it harms the children. So when you get married, marry the right person. It's not like a joke, have a child and the child doesn't have a parent to raise him, or fighting for custody. And the weekend he's going to the dad and the weekdays to the mother. Who's going to take care of his iman and taqwa in school? He loses out in both worlds. So it's not a fair game for the children. They have the right to have a safe and happy life with iman. And the most important thing is their iman. So that's what happens. We lose the children. We lose the generation in society. And when 4, 5, 6 people start doing it, the entire community starts doing it. If 5 people start dating in this community, their friends will start dating. Their friends will start dating. And it will become the norm of the society. It's happened. You can see in Detroit. We're a small community, so things are magnified and they're scrutinized. But there are people who are in these issues. And people think, nobody knows about it. Everyone knows about it. Trust me, people know about it. Because people are not talking to you about it, that doesn't mean you're fine. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to a level, He hides people's mistakes. There's an extent. To an extent. A child was brought to Umar radiallahu anhu. He stole. So I have a Quran aside. Of course, we don't apply this to law right now, right? So you cut their hand. So the mother comes to the Umar radiallahu anhu and says, please, this is the first time. You never did this before. First time. Umar radiallahu anhu says, let me ask you. Brings the kid to the side. Young man, I'll be honest with you. You honest with me. How many times have you stolen? He said, Umar, I stole over 17 times. He says, Subhana, as-sattar. Glory is to the Allah who hides mistakes. Did not expose you the first time. When a person does it so many times, he or she exposes himself. And some people are so low, they expose themselves while they're doing it. And then, let's get to the treatments. There's so many harms. Now the treatments to this, the first treatment that I would suggest is environment. Without a change in environment, you are playing yourself. You're playing yourself. So that's what Yusuf did. Yusuf felt that the jail was a safer environment than outside. And the man that killed 99 people needed a better environment to repent. He could have repented there too. He did, and he intended to. And he slapped the other person dead too. He hit the 100th man and said, "There's no way God's not going to forgive you." So the case is, we're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to repent," but what are we doing? We have to make movements. I want to buy a new car. Get a job. You know? So number one is to change the environment. So if you were spending more time outside the masjid, maybe spend time more in the masjid. Ashab al-Kahf, what happened? They couldn't protect their iman. It was under threat. وَاعْتَزِلُكُمْ وَمَا يَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. If we have to, we're going to go sit in a cave. I'm not saying go find a cave or live in your basement. All I'm saying is come to the house of Allah. Come to the house of Allah. You know, Allah will give you. People will think, عجيب, وَتَحْسَبُهُمْ أَيْقَاظًا وَهُمْ رُقُودٌ. People will think you have no fun in your life, and you have no glitter, no show, no buzz to your life. In reality, وَهُمْ رُقُودٌ, you're the most alive person in the society. That's Ashab al-Kahf. When you looked at them, you thought they were sleeping, but they were alive. When you come to masjid, you think people are boring and old school, reading Quran, but these are the most alive people in the eternal lifestyle. And the people outside, one party to another party, one girl to another girl, one drink to another drink, one friend to another friend, and they have not found content. And in the end, they come down here and they cry, "Oh Allah, please forgive me. Oh, please forgive me." Because in reality, it's hidden on the floor when your head is rubbing against the ground. And when tears are dripping from your eyes. So number one is environment. And I suggest anyone that's listening in the world to this speech, that you need to have an environment. You need a community. You need a center to remind you. This is why these Thursday halaqas, these halaqas are not there to like give you so much knowledge. It just keeps you connected. And I guarantee you, stop for 1 month. Stop. And you will see yourself drift away. If you haven't drifted, you're about to. This is why it's so important. If you haven't found a substitute for this, this was going to happen. Number two is friends. Friends. Even if you change the environment, you go there, you still keep contact with these friends, they will find you mistakes. They'll come there and get you into haram. They will introduce you to the haram in that city. So if you go to Chicago, you moved out of here, but you went to Chicago, but you still keep in contact with your friends here. These friends will visit you in Christmas break. These friends will come down Thanksgiving. These friends will come down in spring break and make you party when you didn't want to party. Because you kept those friends. Like, come on, once more.